Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Okay, Damien, let's get into some individual market movers now. We're very pleased that Nora Melinda is joining us in studio. So, Nora, what have you got for us?
Well, of course, as you've been talking about all day, thin liquidity in this holiday shortened week, but we are looking at shares of some of the tech stocks. They are dragging the S&P 500 lower. We're looking at shares of Nvidia, that's ticker NVDA, and also Tesla, TSLA. They are dragging the Mag 7 stocks lower. So you are seeing those stocks trading off. I'm looking at shares of Nvidia right now, down about 1.9%. So it's really interesting, especially as we are heading toward that CES conference that'll be next week. So we'll be hearing from a lot of these tech companies. Just interesting to see what the trade has been like right now for tech companies, especially since they've had such a stellar year.
Well, you mentioned tech, and I look at the S&P 493 and I say, wow, up 17% this year. It's up, call it 11, 12% on average over the last decade, and has been positive 8 of the last 10 years. So who's to say that you're going to be rotating out of tech and into some of these other sectors, right, Nora?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be interesting to watch, especially as we head into 2026, to see whether or not there's going to be any sort of rotation, because you've been seeing so many investors betting on this sector of the market.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm so curious about Lululemon and that story. I woke up to an alert on the founder nominating 3 candidates and going all sort of aggressive on this. What's happening?
Yeah, it's interesting because if you look at shares of Lululemon, that's ticker LULU, we're seeing shares that are down 45% so far this year. It's a brand that's really been struggling in terms of getting broad-based reception, but we are seeing shares pointing a touch higher. Shares are up as much as 1.8% today in trading, and this is after its founder, Chip Wilson, as you mentioned, Vonnie, is pushing for changes to the board before they select a new CEO. So we're all in following this story as we continue to see whether or not Lululemon is actually able to flesh out some sort of turnaround story.
Well, I'm actually interested in what our friend Joe Weisenthal on the Odd Lots podcast with Jan Hatzius from Goldman Sachs said. I mean, S&P at 7,600, and you got B of A, Morgan Stanley. Actually, I don't think one analyst on the street is calling for an S&P price target lower than where we are today over the year ahead. Talk to us about this bullish sentiment. Can it last?
Oh, it's definitely something that I've been talking about with my sources, especially if you think about the fact that if you just rewind to last year, I don't think that where we sit today is what bulls were expecting, but it's not what the bears were expecting either. It still continues to be a lot of bullish sentiment if we look at what strategists are thinking in terms of price targets or where the S&P might end next year. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not we're able to see this tech rally continue, or whether or not you're going to start to see people looking to other places outside of that tech trade as you continue to see people going all in on artificial intelligence.
And then, Nora, we had a deal. I mean, it's just been a week of deals, but another one today. Mark Ganzi, very happy man, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. And today's Monday, right?
Yes.
So we could say M&A Monday, perhaps. Looking at shares of DigitalBridge, this is actually a company I had to look into. This is ticker DBRG. It's about $2.7 billion in market cap. It's a wireless or wireline telecommunications company. We're seeing shares surging as much as 10% for double-digit gains. This is the highest level we've seen for the company since October of last year. This is after SoftBank Group agreed to pay for the company here. We are seeing that Raymond James analysts are saying that they called the valuation, quote unquote, underwhelming for this deal, but you are clearly seeing the street taking a liking to this, at least if you look at the share performance for this company in particular. Shares up about 9.7 right now, but on a year-to-date basis, we've seen the stock gain about 35%.
Yeah, I mean, they have just been wiping up all of these data centers all around the country. It's been a fascinating watch.
$4 billion deal right here.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.